Hello guys, today's date is quite it's quite um memorable one because exactly 1 year ago on 20 23rd December, right now 1 year ago on 23rd December of 2020 I recorded first episode. Back then it was recorded in my previous room, and at the time I didn't have that much new things like set it up. For example, I didn't have any posters and any anime posters or even anime stickers, and also the only thing I had at the time was my actually personal PC, personal computer, and my own table, like working table, or maybe for studying. And even in terms of setup, right now I've been got a new keyboard. I started playing also more and bought the graphic tablet, and also recently I also even updated my PC, and also got my uh, got my ebook reader, and yeah, even in terms of setup, in terms of gadgets, I got a lot of new stuff. And of course, when it comes to the main thing, why I started recording my monologues, even at that time I had kind of different view on how I'll be learning languages. Well, I was going to like do the input and an output, but I thought that um, I'm going to be doing output way more earlier, and so that it will be kind of same thing as I did in English, but I'm not going to do the same stuff. For example, right now my main language I'm learning right now, which is Japanese. Yeah, I'm not going to uh, try to these videos even at the time when I recorded my first monologue in English. I thought I was going to do my videos, do my blog in maybe partially like half of it in Russian, but it turned out that I was actually able to express my ideas in English, even though not as good as I'd like to. But that's the problem. That isn't the problem of the language itself, but more of an general problem of being able to express my ideas clearly and in a really comprehensible way in any language. And yeah, so so it's been a year, and I would say, yeah, we could say I could say that I kinda reached the goal, like improving my speaking English abilities, my speaking abilities in English. Right now, I don't have that much pauses, and mostly right now when I have pauses, um, they are not because I'm thinking how to say it in English, like uh, and all of this stuff, which is kinda connected to the language or because of the language, but more often uh, whole thinking process in general, and even vocab. Well, to be fair, vocab didn't change that much, but there is improvement. and of course in pronunciation, even though in the beginning my pronunciation, well, actually comparing to like maybe other learners in I would say not even in my like age zone, but like at my level, I have I had pretty fine pronunciation. But anyway, even on my second third or third monologues, you could notice some kind of weird pronunciation, weird way of pronouncing stuff. Um, for example, in the second one, I pronounced the word shit as in as shit, shit. Yeah, as far as I know, that's how it was. And sometimes I could say, and actually, like this kind of stuff. And right now, my pronunciation is Morphin, is more American like. Yeah, but anyway, I have a lot of problems. I still have a lot of problems with my pronunciation when it comes to pronouncing R sounds. That's what I don't like. For example, the word today, even today, like the word I said uh, is interpreted. Interpreted. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You can clearly say that I'm not a native speaker, and pronunciation. Mm, it's not even on like a good. It's not even on the level of like someone who knows language very good. And yeah, that's these are the problems with the pronunciation I have. Yeah, most of the time with R sound. Um, so yeah, of course, as it was expected, in a year, I couldn't get like to the perfection, but still, yeah, as I already mentioned, I'm I am able to conversate, to have conversations without trouble, even having a deep conversations, debates, arguing, and all this stuff, uh, and also other fields of English that are that I improved. I'm actually not sure about writing. When I mean writing, when I say writing, I mean writing essays or some kind of formal letters or yeah, this kind of stuff, which you need on like maybe on a job or maybe um, some kind of test. We need to write an essay or some kind of yeah, as I mentioned, uh, recommendation letter. I don't think I improved this aspect that much, but yeah, there are probably improvements you can notice. And when it comes to listening, I actually am not sure whether if I actually also improved that much in listening, because well, to be fair, even right now, um, watching like some American TV show or even a British one or a movie, watching a movie. Yeah, I can be like watching it on the background and then saying what they're saying, cause I don't know, it's kind of hard to catch. But when it comes to videos, I can easily watch them on the background and have them as a passive listening, even on double speed. Even yeah, even if it is some kind of podcast or just a long monologue, or just usual video, uh, where people where not the person doesn't talk that much. And And yeah, the reason I'm not improving that much that much like in listening, clearly because of not listening. Yeah, yeah, it is very obvious that I'm not going to be able to understand the TV shows like that easily, um, if I don't watch them, because I'm not a big fan of TV shows, and well, sometimes I may be watching movies, but not that frequently. And yeah, and when it comes to reading, my situation is kind of close to that, because yeah, I can't actually read a novel. Well, I'd say if I'd be reading a novel, I'd have maybe like 92% comprehension at the most, because there are a lot of uh, words I don't know. Yeah, in terms of yeah, it comes to vocab, because I simply do not read. And if I was reading something in English, well, I've read a little bit like in English, kind of like books, but I've read only light novels, which isn't even like an actual content in that language. In the English, it is a translation of Japanese, and plus level of light novels isn't that hard. It is no way near novels. But the situation is actually a little bit different in Japanese, because Japanese light novels can be like, there are a lot of light novels that can be even harder than some novels, and so yeah, but that doesn't work vice versa, even if it is translated. And so yeah, yeah, I didn't improve that much in reading, because I don't read. Uh, I don't find I don't find any interesting novels in English. And what else? I think that's all when it comes to like my improvements. And let's try to talk about more about improvements, not only in English but improvements in general, like uh, as I claimed my channel to be like my updates on self-improvement stuff, mostly language learning, self-improvement stuff like self-education. And there were a lot of uh, projects, we could say, that failed. And one of the biggest one, like, is probably probably French. Like, yeah, I started learning French at what, February? Yeah, February, and I was like learning it, but learning methodic was not good at all. It is not even a methodic actually. That's kind of uh, that's not the correct way to call it. I was just watching the videos called like French French by playlists, and actually this thing doesn't actually work. You should get into real content and immerse in that language, in your target language. And sadly, I actually started doing that, like even in Japanese, like um, kind of late, uh, even though I was starting doing input, yeah, immersion, but the time I spent on it, and uh, how much time uh, yeah, I was actually immersing, or wasn't that much. For example, Yeah, in the April, I only started actually immersing in Japanese for like what maybe for that April or even a little bit more, a little bit less, because I remember there were a lot of days when I didn't do anything, when I didn't do anything at all, and maybe sometimes starting doing something after what 2 to 3 days, uh, do a little bit, do a little bit, do a little bit, and again dropping, and that's how I was doing everything until the July, yeah, and in the June month it was also a very broad month because I thought that I need to do like so like the pre-build I need to build my vocab because like I don't know words, and I just started doing 60 new cards, 60 new cards, yeah, 60 new cards a day, and like doing 2 decks, which were two of them were 2000, and so I wanted to like in a month speedrun them, yeah. So I was like, so yeah, I'm going to do like 60 cards, 60 new cards a day, and then when there will be left like what 200 cards, I'll just also speedrun them, and then it'll work, and I'll get into like immersion. And in the end, I only did it for like half of a month because that's uh, that's not good. That's very boring. At the first of all, it is very boring doing Anki for like 3 hours and not doing anything else. Like, and even like after like what? Yeah, after 2 weeks or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you're just going to be like not even bored, and also feeling very tired, even though you didn't actually do anything, like you didn't actually acquire language, get any kind of input of the actual language, but did only flashcards. And so yeah, until June, I was failing a lot, and in the June, like in the middle, or like yeah, or maybe after a week, June, July started. I started, yeah, to read the visual novel, and then I read it also a little bit. I was actually reading, yeah, also not that much at all. Like I was reading for like 1 week, and again I dropped everything and didn't do anything until August. Yeah, until August, and then yeah, I believe I started doing something again. Like I started doing flashcards again, Anki flashcards after like a week. August already passed, and then after that week, that's when everything got started, and that's where my really productive things started going, and I actually started learning Japanese. I actually started learning Japanese through immersion, started immersing in the content, doing listening. Yeah, mostly I was doing listening because it was very easy, it was way more funny, and yeah, because reading is a little bit yeah, that's the thing about reading, is that you can't really enjoy reading if you aren't that much into reading. And the thing is, um, I wasn't that much of a reader. Even in Russian, I read only one. I believe I read only one book, which was read 1 year ago in the November 2020, I believe, and it was actually a Japanese novel which I wasn't recommended, but just after after hearing about it on the Trash Taste podcast, discussing like the contents, the author, I was like very interested. It was the first time when I was like, I want to read like literature. I want to read a novel, and so yeah, I've read only even one book in my native language, in my first language, and I've read only one volume of light novel, also back in October, back in October month. So yeah, I'm not that much of a reader, and I've read only one visual novel, and it was also in Russian. And read like few short light novel visuals in English. And of course, reading was boring because I wasn't like originally into reading, but mm, but because in English, when I was learning English, I was like, I kind of need to actually read. And then I started to get into light novels more, and I started my first light novel, and then started to reading other ones. And in total, I read eight volumes of light novels in English, and one novel in my native language, and one light novel. And right now, in Japanese, mm, after getting a lot of listening, after watching anime with Japanese subtitles a lot for like I was watching for like a month, and then I actually got into reading again. Got into reading light novel, my first light novel in Japanese, and which was as you already know, Seishin Tayoro, and 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 right now for already what it's been it's been like 3 months since I started reading my first light novel in Japanese. I've read already 9 light novels in Japanese, and right now reading my 10th one in Japanese. So yeah, gradually I got into reading when it became easier for me, and even though right now I'm more interested in reading, actually in reading, but comparing to like other people who are like even originally into reading, it is easier for them to like continue reading and reading a lot. mm, I actually don't do that much hours because there are like a lot of people who are immersing doing reading for like 8 hours, like 10 hours a day of reading. And the the main thing, like the main uh, the main kind of weapon they have is actually being into reading and being into the stuff they are reading. And even though I'm also interested, but their interest and engagement level is even more higher. So yeah, that's the thing about reading, and that's why I was even giving up a lot on the beginning, because I didn't even knew that it was even possible to kind of watch anime with subtitles and like look up the words. But right now with the tools, after the time when I got this knowledge, these amazing resources, and these possibilities, tools, I started actually doing it. And so yeah, that's how my Japanese has been like this year, and also about my goal, like these goals I did on this 5 year. Okay. 2021 goals. Yeah, I'm going to show you like the fully. Actually, don't really like look at this fourth one. I just wanted to put something like fourth one because there wasn't anything else. Um, there wasn't anything else, and I didn't know what to put there. And just as something, I put it here. But I actually I didn't even spend like 10 minutes in this, even a minute in this year, on like even searching a little bit, doing some kind of research, reading a little bit about this topic. So yeah, this thing failed, of course. Yeah, I wasn't able. Even right now, like, yeah, as you know, sometimes I may be not doing even 2 hours of reading, even now. And this thing is actually impossible. Well, that's because I should have been like participating in the program last year, and this thing, yeah, as this thing says, kayıt buldu, which means died. Yeah, basically died. Rip. French level B1 rip. What else? Don't fuck up and do it with goal. So yeah, all of the goals were not reached. So yeah, I kind of fucked up with the goals, but anyway, we are not discouraged and keeping going, and in keeping and also, of course, another thing I learned is that you shouldn't be learning 2 languages at the same time if you are actually serious about them, if you actually want to get good at them, and but you want to do 2 at the same time. That's not the way. That's basically possible, but it is going to take you a lot of time. So yeah, there's a reason I'm focusing only on Japanese right now, because everything should be in your target language around you. Yeah, immersing, as we all know. You can be really immersing in 2 languages at the same time, because yeah, 2 of them are going to yeah, like jamasuru, like, fuck, how can I say it in English actually? Interesting, not actually good, but jamasuru. One second, jamasuru. Oh fuck, no. Jisho.org. Google Translate doesn't help me. Fuck. Hindrance, obstacle, nuisance. No, I know the translation of the jama, but jamasuru. So yeah, they're basically interrupting each other. Yeah, it is some kind of interference. So it is not the effective way. And what else should I mention? I mean, not sure whether I should be getting into like describing my how my things were like last week, like in Japanese, of course. I think that's it about my 1 year anniversary, 1 year progress in English, 1 year progress in general, kind of let's call them the fuck. I forgot English. So yeah, results of the year. I forgot the word. Results. So yeah, English kinda not good in by the end of the day. Results of this year and results of not only Japanese, yeah, whole this self education, self improvement thing. Yeah, I've changed. Yeah, I've changed even from that time. We can see that my views. Yeah, as I said, on approaching language like changed on actually more on actually not only language learning but in learning and ability. My approach has changed and I have more knowledge about it, about that. And let's I think I should do some kind of goals list. I wanna reach next year. mm, I think one thing I wanna learn the most, like really I wanna get, is definitely self-discipline. Self-discipline is basically the most powerful thing, because if you actually have like self-discipline, and there is kind of like there is a method which you are sure in, and that if that method works, if you do everything by the methodic as they follow, as they say, and follow it, if you have enough self-discipline, then you can basically learn and get good at any ability. And that's why I want to get this thing. But we all know that things doesn't work the way like I want this, so it magically will happen so that I somehow get it. Also, another thing I wanna also understand is like also is also kind of learning how to learn stuff. Yeah, basically learn how to learn, find the most effective, kind of optimal ways of doing stuff, like what kind of stuff works for me. Yeah, find this thing out. And what else? I guess keeping uh, consistency. But again, this thing applies for self-discipline too, because if you have self-discipline, then you'll be constant. And basically, yeah, that's all what I want. That's other thing I wanna like actually reach, getting self-discipline and learning how to learn, in general. And yeah, finding effective effective uh, ways on what kind of stuff works for me, like in general. Yeah, the most optimistic, the most optimal ones. And I guess that's it. And that's all about our 1 year 1 year the 1 year video where I talk about whole progress I've made so far. And